everyone, welcome to the next picture from our Agotapop Christmas countdown page, and we have the first train carriage. So I have kept a note of the pencils that I used for the engine, and I'm going to do the some parts the same colours. So we're going to start with the Paynes grey for the tyres like we did before, and exactly the same as before, just a light layer of grey and then darken some parts. I hope everyone's doing well today. I hope you're okay with this series. I'm so excited about doing all these lovely Christmas pictures. I do love a bit of festivities. I know this weekend, it's quite early. As I've said before, I'm doing this in advance because I know I'm going to get busy, and a lot of people are putting up their Christmas decorations this weekend. I'm not doing mine until next weekend, partly because it's still November, but also I do really like them, but I find by the time it comes towards 12th night when we take them down, I'm beginning to find the mess gets to me a little bit. So I want to delay it just a little bit so that it doesn't annoy me too early. So I'm putting a darker amount, so more layers, sorry, not a darker amount, that's a bit weird, around the edges, and it helps our tyres look a little bit rounder, and that these centre parts are dipped in a little bit, which I think they are. Right, I'm going to use the permanent green. Oops, let's turn it so you can see the name. There we go. Permanent green for the centres, like we did before. Then I'm going to grab the grey. This is the cold grey 3 that we use for the metalwork. So we're going to use it on this bit here. So as I did before, a little bit darker there and leave a little white gap for shine. We'll do this side as well. Yeah, I am getting quite excited though about the big day. I do get excited, it's rather nice. I saw this most lovely quote earlier, trying to remember it. It was my cousin's daughter, this is Scarlet Red on Facebook. She said, now I'm a grown-up, I'm going to do block in the red bit to start with. She said, now I'm a grown-up, I realised that Christmas magic was made possible by my mum and all her hard work, or something like that. It wasn't quite that, it sounded a bit better than that, but I thought that was very, very sweet. No, it said, and it showed how much she loved me, or something like that. And I thought, oh, that's lovely. I know my cousin's daughter has had a bit of a difficult time at times with various things going on. And her mother's always been there to support her through thick and thin, as they say. And she's got 3 children, my cousin's daughter, and my cousin looks after them when she's at work and things like that, and lets her have a night off sometimes, you know, because she's on her own, not all the time, but some of the time. This is middle cadmium red. You know, she hasn't had a really long-term relationship, and I feel quite sorry for her, really. She seems to fall for the wrong chap, you know. It's tough, difficult, you know, and so she's her mother helps her out, and I think it's lovely. They've got a really lovely relationship. This is Scarlet Red. They live very near to each other, and yeah, and my cousin just loves being a granny and looking after her grandchildren, which is really nice. In a way, I'm quite looking forward to being a granny too. I think it'd be lovely. But I don't want to put pressure on my boys. They're still really young. I mean, she was very young when she had children, but that might have been the right thing for her. I think at the time it was difficult, but now, you know, she doesn't have any regrets. She's got her 3 children. But, you know, my boys are at uni, not really ready yet. So that's good. that's their you know, their life is different. So juniper green for the, I can hear singing. It's my son singing. He started singing Christmas songs, which is, he's got one stuck in his head at the moment. Now he always tells me I'm not allowed to sing them too early because it's too early, mum, you know, all that. I'm going to put this permanent green behind the words North Pole. I had considered doing in a sort of shiny metallic, but I actually think it'll be better, it'll match in with that train better if we just do it in this. It's easier too. Yeah, so he was saying I couldn't sing Christmas songs too early, but then he's got one stuck in his head and he's singing it all the time. So he can't tell me off for singing them. Not that I take any notice, I sing what I like. This is dark sepia. I won't be singing for you though, don't worry. If you want a singing channel, you go to a singing channel. That's not what I'm going to be doing. It's fun and I enjoy it, but I'm not trained. There we go, trained. Good joke. Haha. Right, so that is all the little bits, and it's going to be the same tomorrow when we do our carriage. But now we've got all the different bits and pieces in the carriage to do. So we've got a Christmas tree first of all. What colour? We've got a Christmas tree we did before. I didn't really like the colour that I picked for that. I'm going to do this colour. This is the permanent green olive. I'm going to do that as a base, and then I'm going to add some darker greens in. I think I'm going to do it that way. Now for this one, I'm not going to do the same colour background as I did for that one, even though they're sort of a joined image. Because we didn't do that for the reindeer one, which is a sort of joined image either. And I rather like having them all different. It also gives you some different ideas, so you can decide if you want to do it the same way as me, or if you want to do all of yours the same colour, if there's one you particularly like that you want to copy, or whatever, you know. So that's good. If you want to do yours all the same colour, then go for it. It's your picture. Okay, I'm just going to separate my pencils out. Oh, sorry for that big bang. Now I'm going to grab this pencil. This is the chrome oxide green. And I'm going to put in some of the darker bits. Yeah, I was just separating out the pencils that I used for the train, which I'm going to need again in the next video, from these ones that I'm using for the tree, which I won't need again. Put a bit in there, and it needs to be about here. Also keeping an eye on the time, because I've got to do them on Skype later. Get told off if I'm late by the family. Where have you been? Sorry. Right, back to the permanent green olive. I'm just going to darken it up a little bit, blend it in a bit, basically colour over all of it in this, and just try and make it look a little more even and more intense as well. There we go. As I said with the last Christmas tree, you can draw lines as if it's pine needles, but I'm not sure that it tends to look that good. Oops, I'm kicking the bag under my desk again. It's a bag of bags. Need to use them up this Christmas, really. Get rid of some of them. Right, let's do the sack. I mean, it's quite nice sometimes to do it like in a red or a green, you know, like Father Christmas's sack, but actually I'm actually going to do it in a sort of what I think might be a sack colour. I'm going to grab the raw umber and start with that. I don't know why I prefer, whoops, oh dear, sorry, I should tie it down. tape it to the table or something. I have to keep moving it when I start a different picture though, so that's not going to be very helpful. I prefer a brown coloured sack, and I don't really know why. But we can do our patch in a different colour, of course. Now, this is just the first layer. I'm going to get a slightly darker brown. I think I'm going to go for this one, which is the nougat. It's a sort of more grey shade, and do some of the darker areas. So inside here, there'd be a bit of shadows, it'd be a bit darker, and in some of these gaps where there are lines. And I'm also thinking where it's overlapping things, it might be a bit shadowy, and also on the edge, if we put a bit in, give it a slightly more rounded shape. Now, I was just thinking that I could do like a weave on it to make, like we did on the hat. I'd really like to try, but it's such a small sack. I'm going to sharpen my pencil really sharp and just have a little go, and it might not really work, so don't copy me, burnt umber, unless you've looked at the picture of the end and you liked it. There we go. It's quite fine. I'm going to have to bring my head in and look closely. So basically I want some lines, some across lines and some down lines. It's actually not really showing up as I thought it might not, because it's small. I'm just going to keep going with it though. It might have been better had I used a black or something. I think it just about shows. I think it's okay. I don't think I've made it any worse anyway. Now I'm going to do this patch in a sort of denim-y type colour, I think. I think the ultramarine, this is the light ultramarine actually. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Never mind. For the patch. I'm just going to make it quite intensely blue. There we go. Wonder why it's got a hole in. Do you think a little mouse had been nibbling? I'm going to use the cobalt blue. Actually, that wasn't the light ultramarine, that was the actual ultramarine. I'm sorry if you've tried the light and it didn't quite work, that's why. Just pop a bit on top if you want it darker. You might like the lighter look anyway, sorry. This is cobalt blue, and I'm going to use it for this ribbon. So I'm going to try, I've sharpened it a lot so I can try and make it a little darker on the edges, a bit lighter in the middle. I don't want white left, my stomach is rumbling, but I do want it to look like there's a bit of shine. It's really small, but there we go. I've done my best. Now I am going to stop doing the parcels. I'm going to think about the background before I move on to the parcels, so that I can make sure that I don't clash my colours or have colours that are too similar. So I'm looking at all the colours that I've done already and thinking about what to use. Now I've done 3 blue backgrounds already, so we're not going to do blue. We may need blue later anyway. We've got several outdoor pictures to do. We've got a salmony pink, this one, but we've got a normal pink. I think it was magenta and light magenta. We've got a purple, 2 greens, 2 yellows, 1 orange, 1 brown, 1 red. I'm thinking I might do a different pink. So I'm going to just do that. I think I'm going to use these 3 pinks. Oops, let me just grab them. Oh, this one's rolling into my lap. So the fuchsia, the light purple pink, and the pink madder lake. Those 3, I always think they're nice together. They work quite well together, so I'm going to use those. So I'm going to start with the lightest, which is the pink madder lake. Now I know this one was pink, but it's going to look quite a lot more orangey once we do this pink. Let's try and make him look a little bit straighter. There we go. And this is also going to, I mean, this is our lightest pink and it's already quite dark. So it will look a lot darker than this one too. But on yesterday's, I didn't do anything special with the background. I didn't put in any snow or any dots or anything. So I think I'll keep that consistent through our 3 train ones. That the background is still the sort of fading towards this picture, you know, darker on the edges. But there'll be no dots, snow, erased bits. I'm drawing on, you know, like I did some hearts on one of them, but I haven't done that on any of the others, drawing anything on. So we might have to do that on a couple to sort of make that one not the only one, but we won't do it on these train ones. We'll keep these plain and, I was going to say simple. I don't think it is that simple, to be honest, but this bit's okay. Now if you find it difficult doing the different colours, you can just block it in. Even use a water paste marker. You could use an alcohol marker actually, because this is a printout page. But it depends on the paper you've used, because some paper isn't very good with wet mediums. So you may need to be careful of that. I used to have some Bristol ball paper that if you used a felt tip pen, it would just sort of eat up the surface. The wet would get in there and saturate it, and as you worked it, it would pull off bits of paper. This is the fuchsia, and this is the darkest one. I'm going to do the darkest one next. And then fade it a little bit. Oops, I've gone over the edge there. We've got some really cute pictures coming up. Now I know that Agatha has got another set of Christmas. She's got a lot of Christmas ones out. I was a little bit short of Christmas pictures to colour, I thought. And so I was like, what am I going to do? And then I had a little look through my stash. You know how it is. And of course I've got Rita Berman's winter book, so there's a lot in there. I have got Nice Little Town Christmas too, so I've got some in there. I have got Matchstick Mouse Christmas, and then Maria Trolle and Hannah Carlson have Christmassy pages. Now we're going to use our middle colour, so the middle purple pink is our sort of mid pink, and we're going to try and just mix them together. Yes, so other people, and I've been looking through Small Victories as well. You will have probably had some videos from there already, because there were quite a few pages I felt that looked a little bit Christmassy that I thought I could do with you. Or maybe not the whole page, but just a little item from the page, that sort of thing. So, because I didn't want to stop doing Small Victories just because it's December and it's Christmassy, but I did want to do December and Christmassy pictures, if you know what I mean. So I had to combine the two in some videos. And of course we have the Christmas wreath page, which I probably would have done by the time you get to see this video. So back to the Pink Madder Lake to finish off. I'm going to go over all of it, just trying to tidy it up, making sure it's still a little bit lighter near the middle if we can. So there's almost a sort of lighter area around our train. And then we can do our prezzies. Prezzies? Do you call it prezzies? I don't know if it's just a local word or an English word, or if everyone uses it. I don't really know. So I think Americans tend to say gifts rather than presents, as far as I can tell, but that might just be certain areas, because it's not exactly a small country, is it, America? Even in the UK we have so many different local dialects, and we're a relatively tiny country, really. I do find it quite fascinating though. So even the word for mother, we don't use the word mother very often. We will use the word mum, mam or mom Mom is more American, I think, Canadian American, I don't know. But some places use the word ma'am, or ma'am, and some people use mum, and some people who are posh say mummy, like the king. He refers to his mother as mummy. Well, obviously, I'm going to try the light phthalo green for present. Obviously, she's passed now. But yeah, my husband always referred to his mother as mummy. But he's not quite as posh as the king. Not by any stretch. I'm going to go straight to the deep cobalt green for our ribbon. It's a really dark, sort of extremes. I think it's a bit of fun. There we go. But he refers to me as mummy when he's talking to children as well. But they call me mum. They used to call me mummy. It's something that children do when they're really little, and then they sort of grow out of it. I don't really mind what they call me. I like mum, mother. I get mother. I'm not always that keen on mother, to be honest. Mother. It's usually when I've done something irritating. Sometimes as parents have to be irritating. Right, I'm trying to think of my next present. I think we could go for a blue violet. I think that's different enough from colours we've used already. For this one down here. But yeah, they tend to just call me mum, which is what I call my mum. And that's fine. I don't like it when children call their parents by their Christian names, but if the parents are happy with that, then it's not really any of my business, is it? So it just doesn't seem very respectful. But this is light yellow ochre. But it's also like my nieces and nephews, they all call me auntie. They call me Auntie Ray, but I wouldn't mind if they just called me Ray or Rachel or whatever. But they don't, and that's just how they've been brought up. I'm going to use what's that? Yes, Venetian red for the box, this box here. But I remember growing up, my cousins used to not call my mother auntie, they just would call her by her Christian name. And but I used to call my aunties and uncles auntie this, uncle this. And I used to feel like I was being a bit babyish, you know. I'd feel a little bit embarrassed that I had to do that and they didn't. I think we need a light blue. Should we go for a sky blue? And my sister used to feel embarrassed too, but now she says she won't let her children not call me aunt because she thinks it's disrespectful. And I said, but I don't mind, I don't want them to feel embarrassed. But it's only us usually, so it doesn't matter too much. There's not really anyone to be embarrassed in front of, if you know what I mean. This is the, this is the indanthrene blue. Sharpen it. I'm going to use it for that little last bow. And then I'm going to do a little bit of shadow. I don't know how much it really shows up, but I like to have a little go. It's a bit lighter in the middle. But this bow, I'm just going to fade it to the end a bit. Get a bit lighter on the end. So it's very exciting walking through our shopping centre. They were, this is the dark sepia. We're just going to put some shadows in. They were, they're doing up a shop one where Wilko's closed down. Wilko's is a sort of store that sells lots of things, toiletries, stationery, homeware. And they went out of business and closed or went into administration. closed all their high street shops, and so the one that we had in our town closed, and the where ours was is now been separated into two shop units, and we were having a little nosy at it when we were in the shopping centre this morning, me and husband, and rumour has it, rumour on the street in the town, that it's going to be a JD Sports and a pound land, I think, pound stretchers, can't remember. It'd be quite useful having like the pound shop, although I would prefer, sometimes I prefer more expensive shops. It can be quite useful to have places to buy little cheap bits and bobs sometimes. Right, I think that is done. I still quite like to add some dots of white, but I can't because I haven't on the carriage. So let me pull it back, you can see them both together. There's the train and the carriage, they look quite similar. And we've got another one to do tomorrow with our little teddy. So that's going to be nice. We've got a little rabbit as well. Oh, it's cute. So that's me for today. So thank you so much for watching. Yeah, enjoy your day. Do some colouring. Have some chill time. It's Christmas. Have a biscuit, mince pie. That's very naughty. Anyway, have fun and happy colouring.